Welcome to another episode of TalkNTaste. We got co-founder Danny Drake of Enduraphin.
What's up?
Welcome to the podcast, man.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, it's pretty epic to be here with you. And
Nice.
my guy TJ.
Yeah, bro.
For sure.
So, we always ask questions about taste. All right, what's your taste when it comes to sports? Like, what sport you like?
Yeah, I like all sports. I think the main four and now kind of beyond. Now that I'm working in sport, I think when I was younger it was like baseball, basketball. I wrestled, but now it's like you make friends that play certain sports. So like in the NFL or NBA, and you start to watch that guy or girl. So I feel like I've become more of a fan of the player.
Oh, players, okay.
Players, yeah. Yep.
But I would think you have to love all sports because you want your drinks to be in every locker room, every arena.
100%. Yeah, we water polo,
Right.
wrestling. Like we work with all sports under the
sports,
sun.
right?
Yeah.
What's your taste when it comes to food?
I feel like I'm pretty. I started off simple.
Okay.
Right, so it's like humble beginnings. You get humble food in the beginning.
Yeah.
I remember being forced to sit at the table and eat my green beans. So wasn't a big fan of that, but now I feel like I'm pretty open to trying new things. Right, so usually pretty simple though: steak, potatoes, and a green or a color. But open to everything.
You know how important greens is now, huh?
Yeah, 100%. That color, right?
Right.
Color in the food, for sure.
What's your taste when it comes to music?
Ooh, I feel like I was influenced by my dad and my mom, as we all are. So you get some of each, and then you get some of your own as you grow up.
Right.
So my dad was like classic rock. So in those streets, and then my mom was country. So I'm pretty widespreading on that side, and then getting into sport, like good hip hop song is always great to come out to and get energized by. And something about like some of that electronic or EDM music kind of gets you going a little bit, pumps you up.
Yeah. That's a great balance actually.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of all, but I feel like the country like brings me back to a time, like old country. I just remember like being with my mom or my dad driving in upstate New York.
Yeah.
But
so that's what you like to vibe to, some good old country, huh?
yeah, but I mean I'm into it all for sure.
Who's your favorite artist?
My favorite artist?
Yeah. What's your? It don't have to be just one genre. All genres.
Yeah.
Your top 5 artists.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I like. I mean, Toby Keith is like an old country one, just because we're on that old country.
Yeah. Toby Keith. Okay.
Yep. I like some of the Lil Baby stuff.
Okay.
I feel like he gets you pumped up.
Yeah, you do.
There's some drill beat behind it.
Yep.
And then classic rock like AC/DC, Journey.
Yeah.
And what's a fit? Let's see. I mean, tough part is, what am I listening to the most of?
Yeah.
Well, I have a wife that loves Taylor Swift too.
Okay.
So like I would say that's probably in the airwaves.
Yeah. Okay.
Is Taylor Swift.
That's 4. One more.
Yeah. And then I'd say, what genre should we jump into? EDM? Like Avicii back in the day when I was in college, even though unfortunately I think he's gone now, but it's good music, pump up during college.
Okay.
College years.
So tell me about Enduraphin.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
For sure. So, grew up in upstate New York, so from just outside of Syracuse, and was a multi-sport athlete throughout high school, but didn't have that strength and performance that I wish I would have known about now that I'm here in this position.
Yep.
But was inspired by athletics. I think you learn so much as an athlete working with a team, losing the ego, trying to help others get better. And yeah, I think you know that's a big piece for me. Is,
So is that so yeah, what inspired you to, so that
okay,
inspired
sorry.
you?
Yeah, here we go. So multi-sport athlete, start getting big into the gym, trying to understand what I should be putting in my body after a workout. You quickly realize that protein's needed to rebuild muscle and make sure you're sustaining your energy levels. Started going through the process of a big bulk jug of protein powder in the shaker bottle, which I'm sure you've dealt with, used in your career.
Yeah, when I was in Boston, yeah, we'll let that fly over.
Right. Chop.
Yeah, when I was in Boston, shout out to my strength coach Bidu. He used to make these peanut butter protein shakes after games, and for everybody. I used to have them sometimes, but that wasn't really a big thing of mine, because I used to, after games, I used to be into so I used to drink cherry juice and cayenne pepper. So my whole thing was like, after games, is like, if I had any like lactic acid buildup, that's what I would drink to like get inflammation down, instead of like icing or doing what everybody's doing. I was kind of doing something like that. But sometimes I would have it, because you got to be a part of the team too. You can't just be going off and just completely just doing your own thing. But that's what I did. But so I had a balance. I did it sometimes. Yeah. So I know about it. Yeah.
For sure. What we noticed was, like, using that bulk jug of protein powder in the shaker bottle, the process becomes pretty inefficient. Right?
Yeah.
You're like dealing with a shaker bottle that if you leave out, especially in this Florida sun, you shouldn't use that thing again. You know what I mean? Because the dairy's fermenting, it's starting to grow and ferment in there, right? So we saw a problem with that process, but you can achieve a super high quality product. And then started doing research with dietitians and strength coaches across the US.
Okay.
What are you using? What do you like and dislike? So doing the research in the field, right? And they had the same issues with the shaker bottle, but with like 30 athletes in the gym at a time.
So what was the shaker bottle doing again?
So like when you go through the process, you got the big jug of protein powder, right?
Right.
And then you got the shaker bottle,
Yep.
which, my bad. But with that shaker bottle, what that did was allow you to blend up the powder and the liquid fast, right? Because before that, it was the fork, right? And you're putting the powder in the cup and stirring it up. So the shaker bottle did a great job in making it convenient, but if you don't clean those things out, you deal with a terrible smelling, gross, bacteria infested type of bottle, right? So the bells and whistles started going off once we saw a dishwasher in an athletic training room. So you have the strength coach, the athletic trainer, who have their jobs in helping to make you guys stronger and stay healthy, right? But then they have to double as a dishwasher. It just didn't make sense, right?
True.
In like 12-hour days as a strength coach, from sun up to sundown, they also have to clean your shaker bottles out. So we saw that. We talked to dietitians. They switched to a ready-to-drink shake, right? It's easier to drink, recycle, you're done with it.
For sure.
But as soon as you kind of talk to them about ready-to-drink shakes, they love the convenience.
Yep.
But they dislike the ingredients that they could find in there, right? And so we thought, how do we deliver on quality and convenience?
Right.
And that's where it all spurred from.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, I feel like the first thing with coming up with something special is being able to solve a problem that that the world has or somebody has, and that's what you try. That's what you're doing right now with your product.
Absolutely.
Okay. So tell me about the ingredients.
Yeah, for sure. So when we were doing the research, you asked dietitians what they wanted to see in a recovery product, right? So we're talking post-lift, post-game is our use case right now, right? So when you look at that, you need carbohydrates. They're your energy source, so you have to replenish carbohydrate, and you also want protein to help kickstart, that muscle protein synthesis and be able to recover and build stronger muscle, right? So there's this ratio, this golden ratio that kind of came out, which is 2 to 1 carb to protein is what athletes are looking for. Nowadays, you'll start to see boosted amounts of carbohydrate. But when, dietitians talk about carbohydrates, the most known one in our society is sugar, right? That's like the go-to for carbohydrate amongst a lot of products.
Right. Okay.
Yep. So what we heard is they want to see less added sugar, more real food.
Right.
So when we developed our athletic fuel formula, which has 45 grams of carbs, it comes from organic tapioca, organic brown rice, organic sweet potato powder. Right? So carbs coming from real food, protein coming from primarily whey protein isolate, which when you look at protein, fastest digesting, highest leucine is in whey protein isolate.
What's whey protein? What's that? Where'd that come from?
So it comes from the derivative of cheese. So the high protein content in cheese that then gets refined. It's also in milk, right? So when you look at a milk protein, the natural makeup of a milk protein is 80% casein, 20% whey. You've heard of casein protein, typically timed before bed, right? So you're getting that slower digesting protein. But our use case being post-lift, we wanted that quicker digesting whey protein isolate.
After the games.
Correct. Yep. After the game. And, teams have made it their own, right? Ultimately, you need to look at total protein consumption as well, right? So the gold standard out there from dietitians is about 1 gram per pound of body weight for protein.
Okay.
Which is tough to do at your size, right?
Yeah, it'd be a lot.
It's a lot of grams of protein. And if you're not getting it, you're not feeding your body or your brain.
What you need. So before athletic game, you feel like your body needs
carbs and protein.
And protein, and after you need.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. So carbs, you're trying to load carbs pre to make sure you've got enough energy to use throughout competition, and then post you want to replenish the carbohydrate, that glycogen that you need to recover and then do it again the next day.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. So that makes sense why Bidu was doing all the.
Wahoo.
So Bidu was my strength coach when I was in Boston.
Yeah.
And he had the shaker bottles, and he made those drinks for the guys after. So I see why he was making them.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a problem. I didn't have a problem with like weight, because I used to eat a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I see where it could be useful for, especially for guys who don't like to eat a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To refuel and replenish like straight after the game. You know what I'm saying? So they can recover for the next day as well, right?
Yeah. Ultimately, food is what you want to focus on first. So it's great that you have that, right? It's supplementing where needed. Right, to hit those protein goals. Okay. So if by eating food and as a professional athlete, it might be easier for you to get your protein than even the young athlete right now that's trying to make it. And then you look at guys in the league now. You are great at keeping size on, but there's some skinny guys out there, right? And what happens? Their body starts to break down, right? And the vet learns to take care of his body, and you hope that message can be shared younger,
right?
So they can have long careers like you did,
Yeah, just like we was talking about earlier, it's like it's really about the information getting to probably the strength coach first, and then it goes to the players, educating themselves on how to, to fuel up and recover,
and the strength and conditioning career and the dietetics career has become so great nowadays, right? Like before, there wasn't a registered dietitian at a lot of teams just a few years back, right? So that means you had an early strength coach that was with the science early. And I remember talking to some strength coaches that worked with guys back in the day. How do you get them to consume it? Because like you said, you questioned it. Why do I need it, right?
Yeah, I did.
And there was just some funny stories that I'd hear from like old-timer strength coaches to get them to drink it. You just gotta kind of tap into a different mentality, and then once you're consuming it habitually, you realize the gains and the feelings that you get. Then you buy in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's important. I had a nutritionist when I was playing, So that's why I was kind of on like a little different path.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like I would have been locked in and in tune to whatever my strength coach was saying.
For sure.
But you know what? I feel like having like supplements like that is important, especially like when you're doing multiple workouts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you can't eat enough food.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And because right now I kind of have that issue with my son. Like, if we doing 2 and 3 workouts a day, like, how are we going to be able to replenish your body?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So you won't be depleted and dehydrated for the next day. And like lately, we've been doing a lot of shakes, a lot of protein shakes. Trying to drink a lot of water along with eating.
100%.
You know, a lot of times you want to do quick eating, like whatever you see.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to figure out how to have some good supplements for him, and also like meal prepping for him, so it could be, it could be easier, for him to continue to develop,
For sure. I mean, look at like the responsibilities as an athlete have grown.
Yes.
Which means like the time of day is being stretched more and more, right? So you need access, right? It becomes convenience does become a factor, right? Now that you're retired, you can come in here to this restaurant, make sure you're getting exactly what you need. But when you're growing as that athlete, getting it in is the most important thing, you know?
Yep, that's true.
Convenient about these though.
What's that?
Not only I'm looking at the calories, I don't know if you know, but I've been on my healthy tip for the last like 6-7 months, right? Been going in. So I'm looking at the total sugars. It's not that much. 1 gram of sugar in this entire thing, and then with 0 grams of added sugar. Then the total calories out of the whole bottle is 120, bro.
Yeah.
That's insane for a protein shake.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about what you were saying about the shaker bottles. I remember when I was like taking protein, bro, sometimes I would just put my powder in the bottom, but it'd still be kind of wet from me using that. So I thought I dried it out pretty good, right?
Yeah, right.
Then I go to shake it up, and I'm looking down at the bottom. I'm like, God dang, bro. And I'm having to hit it, and do all this. So this pretty convenient, bro. Be able to just grab it, grab your bottle,
Right.
put it in your backpack, for high school, pro, whoever, college athletes, and be able to get your protein in.
Yeah.
Wish I had something like this when I was in freaking high school. Yeah, so let's say we shake, fill. So now I got.
Yeah, so shake, fill, shake, drink, recycle. So you got powder prepackaged in this recyclable blending bottle. Give it a little shake, breathe.
All right.
Then fill it to that fill line. So what we'll do after should be fun.
Okay.
You said you like that beet juice.
Yeah.
So we'll get some of that beet juice poured in.
Put it in there.
That'll taste really good, and you get that boost that you're looking for from beet juice to kind of
All right.
make you the best.
Before I go work out, huh?
Yeah.
Bet.
But this product actually, so that's our whey.
Okay.
Athletic Fuel has those organic carbohydrates that we talk about. So this product's got 270 calories, but it's more complete. So prior to going into, a run.
So for me,
training.
like for a guy that's trying to like maintain his weight and just not really gain, I don't want to gain too much muscle mass and nothing like that. You would recommend me taking this one?
I'd say you could drink that, but if you're trying to go hard at your run,
Okay.
and you didn't eat prior to,
I need that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Top up. So carbohydrates is the energy source that you can then burn.
Gotcha.
Right. So protein is what rebuilds the muscle.
Yep.
Right. So you think like post, you want to use that?
Post.
But carbs are what you need to get in prior to the run.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's try it out.
You want to? Yeah. Actually, let's go with that whey one
Ask
first.
You want to get some beet juice?
Yeah. Maybe
All right,
we'll ask for it.
D, can you ask her to make just a regular what you want, beet and what, B? You want to mix it with what?
Make it a drink you would like to drink, and then we're gonna mix it with vanilla. So
Okay, let's just do just coconut water.
Coconut
Okay.
water?
Yeah, just coconut.
All right,
coconut water.
Yeah.
That's
I like
some
that.
damn coconut water. Thank you.
Yeah. Coconut water goes really good in chocolate too. I've realized.
Okay.
And in this Florida heat, you get the electrolytes from coconut water.
These
So
not that-
if you hadn't eaten nothing,
Yeah.
the
270.
which drink? Which one?
This guy.
You drank the Athletic Fuel,
Yep.
and after you have the whey protein powder.
Yep.
I think that is quick and efficient. for kids and just all athletes.
Sure. It's ready when they are.
Especially,
right?
yeah, especially if you can't get to a meal and like, you can eat after this protein.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Still eat, right? The goal is to hit that protein goal, though.
Okay.
Right?
And
But-
it contains milk though. It's not dairy free.
Correct.
So-
Just because whey protein is derived from milk ultimately.
Yep. Okay. But do both of them have dairy in them?
They do. They do.
Okay.
Yep. So whey protein isolate is our main protein ingredient. That's in both. So therefore, it contains milk.
Contains both. Cool design bottles too, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about most kids, how you got to fight with kids to drink their protein and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now you just put it in their bag and you're like, all right,
Mix
that's
it with your
that's-
favorite drink.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever your favorite color is, I mean, not color, but flavor,
Yeah.
and you good to go.
In the beginning, it was all about quality and convenience. It has now become about customization, right? Convenient customization, because I'm gonna add coconut water. That's
Right.
gonna change the nutrition facts on the bottle.
Right. Okay.
Right. So you're gonna get what's in this? 70 calories. I'm adding those calories to these 120, right?
A lot of potassium in there now.
So filling it up, leaving some head space so that it'll blend up, right? And then just put the top back on. Give it a
Maybe
little
get some
shake.
small cups so we all can try it.
Yeah,
The convenience factor is everything, bro.
right.
The convenience factor
Nah,
is everything.
for sure. For sure.
People pay a good price just for convenience.
Yeah.
100%.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
100%.
Especially what I'm
Smart
saying, like
tip.
especially when you're an athlete and you doing multiple training sessions, it's hard to refuel,
Yeah.
So you need something that's very convenient.
And then it's like how you feel too. So like if you're going post lift into practice, a lot of times the guy is thinking, I want to play my best.
Right.
I got to feel my best.
Right.
A lot of times there's products that we've competed against that they don't feel the greatest when they drink it, so they
Right.
stop drinking.
Right.
So what we've found is that athletic fuel. We'll have hockey teams that go post lift and then go onto the ice, and those guys lose like 10 pounds in a practice.
On which one?
No, I'm saying hockey athletes.
No, for sure.
When they're
I
on the ice.
Yeah.
Just like hoopers. Like,
Yeah.
You're losing a lot of weight out there, right? But it's about feeling good. So they drink that athletic fuel post lift, pre-practice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I used to lose like sometimes like 5 to 7 pounds after a practice. Yeah, appreciate it.
So that's with coconut water. I'll pour me over there. There you go. Did you get some?
No, I ain't tried yet. You
You
ready?
try- oh, yeah.
Oh, oh,
Cheers.
try it
Come
together.
on.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's get that. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
This ain't bad at all, man.
This dangerous. I'll be
Like it
drinking this.
tastes good.
I'll be
Right?
drinking this
It
at
tastes
night.
really good.
Right? That's like chocolate milk right
It
there.
do
right?
taste like chocolate
God
milk.
damn. That's
And see,
fire.
and see, that's with coconut water, right? So what I love that you said, your recovery beverage is what?
Mine was all about getting the lactic acid out your body and inflammation out your body. That's what I thought about first.
Yeah.
After games.
Yep.
Then it was all about replenish and recovery. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But that was the first thing
Love it. Love it.
because I was all about trying to I always wanted to feel good. Like I wanted my knees to feel good.
Yeah.
Always. You know what I'm saying? Because when I played, guys used to have ice everywhere, ice bags everywhere. Have to get massages every day.
Right.
Mainly because of the way they was eating. That they had a lot of lactic acid buildup. But I had this crazy nutritionist that was telling me, man, look, you don't need to ice nothing. I know that's crazy. It sounds crazy because everybody ice, but he had me where I didn't ice. I was just eating a certain way and putting certain things in my body to decrease the inflammation. And yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But I seen guys who ice as well, and it worked out for them as well. But ultimately, I feel like you got to strive to put the best things in your body, man.
Definitely.
You know,
I agree.
you know, kind of like your car, man. You don't put no what is it? What is it? 90?
Ethanol. What is? Yeah.
No, but what's the numbers? It's like 93, 87, and what else?
89.
Yeah.
And 89.
86 has got that ethanol, I think.
Yeah, you got to be putting the best. I always put the best.
100%.
Even in my old car, man, I put the best gas in there. Yeah, I put 93.
Yeah.
I'm tripping, TJ. What?
Yeah.
In the old school. Yeah.
Nowadays with those gas prices.
Yeah. I always.
But what I like about that, so you mentioned tart cherry
Tart cherry.
being that anti-inflammatory that you like to lean into.
Mm-hmm.
So we just added coconut water.
Mm-hmm.
You could add tart cherry,
Yeah.
right, to a chocolate or to a vanilla.
Mhm.
Now you're getting all the above.
For sure.
Anti-inflammatory, the carbs, protein.
Look at TJ, man.
Yeah.
You like
you want to try?
Yeah,
Try it? There's more left.
Yeah.
You want
So-
this cup?
So tell me about your grind. What you do on a daily to make this product, the product, you know, more visible, and like some of these top products out here. What you do on a daily
Yeah,
to make that happen for yourself?
for sure. It started with that initial research that I mentioned, right? So leaning into strength coaches and dietitians, and
Yeah.
we've continued to do that since we started. So got launched late 2018, early 2019. We're able to bring the product to market, and in the beginning, you know, it's a cool concept with a couple really young guys that get mistaken as the interns, right? Always walking into the place, so like respect is earned.
Mm-hmm.
And it was tough to earn that respect young, but being those hungry guys that are about consistent improvement allowed us to keep getting in the door, right? So started with, you know, a hockey program up at Clarkson University. That's where I went undergrad.
Okay.
Quickly spread to, you know, St. Lawrence, that then led to Canisius. We ran the hockey streets, and then, you know, Syracuse basketball picked us up, right? And as a young guy from Syracuse, watching Melo do what he did was pretty wild. So then to be able to work with them was a game changer. But consistently just getting on the road, being there for the strength coach and dietitian, and ultimately for the athlete, has allowed us to grow and get to where we are, right? It's service is first. Like if you talk to the strength coaches and dietitians and teams that we work with, they're going to say we have a great product, but they first say they love working with Danny and Mike. And that makes me feel the best ever, actually. I got chills on that, because it's what life's about. It's like the people you work with and can help. And so they took a chance on us, and now we're working with, you know, 90 plus Division I universities. Just got back from a week in North Carolina, you know, running from Chapel Hill to, you know, USA Baseball, talking to, you know, those folks up there, to then headed out to Charlotte, have dinner with, you know, a Panthers player out there, which is really fun. It's just staying on the move while also having a young family, right? So it's like that is now the biggest balance. It's like my first baby was Enduraphin, right? The company, and we're still raising that first child, but like what life is all about is now here, right? With my daughter being a year old. So it's getting on the road, but seeing how I can like bring the wife and baby and be able to integrate that work and life.
Along that journey, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What do you find? Like, what is the most consistent feedback you get from all those colleges and all those strength coaches you have talked to?
Yeah. So nowadays, like in the beginning, talking about organic tapioca, brown rice, and sweet potato would get you to not want to drink that. I mean, the sound of it, the ingredients you would like, but the flavor you would question, right? So in the beginning, it was like we'd get wrestlers that would eat nails if you asked them to, if it was going to make them better, right? To then creating a product that tastes as good as the artificial ones out there, right? So now we're getting all that same feedback, the quality and the convenience, but now like we're beating other players on flavor, which if you can do that, then every box is checked, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're third-party certified, so you don't have to worry about banned substances with NSF and Informed Sport, quality, and then being able to take these on the go. It's like the biggest thing.
So what you feel like would take it to the next level? Take the product to the next level?
For sure. I think staying focused. And Einstein said you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. It's the definition of insanity, right? I think that deters people from doing things that might seem the same over and over again. They're very different. One little tweak, right, in shooting form is going to change everything, right? So doing that same thing over and over, that's what we'll continue to do. We'll continue to work for our coaches and the athletes, right? We won't change the formula for the general market. So a lot of times they want to strip out what you guys want to see in there. But being able to lean into some of that marketing, because this is the first time I'm on a podcast. This story hasn't been shared, and like we're in the streets, we're in the doors that people care about. It's now being able to tell that story.
Tell that story, yeah, because I feel like that's what people like resonates with too.
Yeah.
You know, after you check off all the boxes, now they want to like kind of feel like they connected with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And by being more out there, podcasts and people hearing your story, it make people want to check it out even more. You know, even the regular day-to-day people.
For sure.
Who want put the best stuff in their body. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's ultimately what I am. I'm a regular day-to-day guy.
Yeah.
Right. That gets to hang out with great people that are
with cool people like TJ.
Yeah. No, but just like that was the inspiration from a young age, right? Like I knew I wasn't gonna make the pros or anything, but to be able to work around, the people that make the world go round ultimately, right? Entertain the world. I think it's an exciting place to be, and making sure like the good values are still seen, right? I wanna prove that the nice guy can finish first.
The nice guy can finish first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say the nice guy always finishes last.
Yeah.
I want to prove that.
You know what? I've been going backwards and forth. Well, I kind of want to erase the nice guy thing.
Yeah, nice. We have to define nice, right?
Yeah. So because like I feel like we should want to be just good men, good or great men, versus a nice.
True.
100%. You know what I'm saying? Just a nice person.
Yeah.
Or a nice guy.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That picture of the nice guy in your head. Yeah, we don't want to be that.
Just be a great man.
Correct. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Because nice, you're gonna be getting used and abused, man.
Yeah. For sure.
And kind of taken advantage of a little bit. You know
Definitely.
what I mean?
Definitely.
Because you want to be nice, and because it's the right thing to be.
Yeah.
But being a great guy means you nice is gonna be there.
Right.
But you're just gonna be firm on the things you firm on, and you ain't gonna budge. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I agree with that.
So yeah, I've been on that time lately.
Yeah.
Because when you're a solid person, you always want to be nice to people, but
right. Yeah.
Got to be nice, right?
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like growing up, like I've seen the need for tough love. And I think that's part of that definition of being a great guy, right? It's like you got to have that tough love to help or get the best out of everyone around you.
Absolutely.
It's ultimately what you want to do.
That's ultimately what it is too. Is tough love, especially when you getting pushed.
Correct.
Because it's gonna get perceived as being tough on someone, but you are loving on them.
Correct.
And so that's tough love.
Yeah. We just talked about this. It's like he always say it's always how you look at things, right? So, like me trying to correct you on something that I know is wrong or that I know that you probably don't see because I'm seeing stuff like I think ahead, bro.
Yeah.
You might not see in ahead. Like he been to the highest level of basketball, right?
Yeah.
But just imagine him trying to talk to his son and he's just trying to warn him. It's like you giving him warning before he get there. But it's like if his son was just to look at that another way, just be like, man, my dad's just looking out for me versus, man, daddy on my ass again. You know, and that goes for everybody in the world, bro. It's always how you look at certain things, bro. You can't just look at it and be like, man, you getting on my ass, or you just bother me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, bro. Like I feel like God put certain people around you to put kind of like some information in your head to give you like instruction, and then you're gonna hear the message, and nobody dumb enough to not receive that message, right?
Yeah.
It could be something as simple as, man, don't drink and drive, bro. I don't drink and drive just because I done seen so much crazy shit happen, right? But you hear that, but then just think about you driving down the street one night and then you loaded and you get into an accident. That first thought that's gonna come in your head is, man, I remember the other day, buddy was just saying don't drink and drive. So it's always just certain people around you that's giving you some type of instruction or some type of warning, and it's just about how you receive it, man. And a lot of people don't receive it, or a lot of people look at it the wrong way, as if somebody hating on them, or, man, he don't want me to shine. No, bro, we just trying to help you, because we know that when you get to a certain situation in basketball especially, like, shit gonna be different.
Right.
You know, and that goes to talk about be a success story. So he ain't mentioned it yet, but be a success story, that's BASH, is the acronym for his last name, right?
Oh, that's it.
So now we starting this with our kids, right? To where a lot of the kids that I train, now I'm fun, like we're it's like a funnel system. Now we're all working together. Like, now you got to go talk to BASH, and you got to go understand, like, he's gonna tell you exactly what you need to do as far as, like, bruh, be on time for workouts, or, you know, make sure you waking up eating your breakfast, make sure you going to work out, make sure this, that, and the third. But now, like, we all working together. This is our village. This is why a lot of times I say our village is small, but it's super elite, because not a lot of people out here have, like, guys with, like, the brains that we have. But the be a success story is, like, we're helping kids be a success, right? And it's through his you know, he already had a lot of trial and error. So what better way for kids to go understand what it takes to make it than to go see him or to come talk to me? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just put that out there in the universe for all of our kids and everybody out there. We have our mentorship program that started by my brother, Be a Success Story, and we just gonna start teaching kids what it takes to really make it. You know? Yeah.
It's you.
That's
with Enduraphin.
Yeah.
Be a success story.
Yeah.
You have already.
And I'm still working.
And you're still working on it.
100%.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And like kind of like what TJ was saying, is like basketball to me is like life to me. I mean, I'm sure, like, on the journey of you building up your product, you've learned so much about life. You feel me? I was talking about, it's kind of, everything. I look at everything kind of the same, even relationships with people. You know, kind of like what TJ mentioned a little bit about my son and how, you know, how sometimes it get a little tough to keep pushing him, right?
Yeah.
My son worked way harder than I worked, man. You know, so I can't even be like, I can't really complain, because he worked harder than I did, because he know more than I did as a youngster. So like sometimes I be getting into situations where I be like, man, I get upset with him, and sometimes I be in the car by myself saying, bro, you gotta be a little bit more patient, man. You know what I'm saying? And to me, like that's kind of what I mean about, like, you know, life teaches you, continue to teach you how to be better. Because even sometimes, like, in moments where I think I know it all, that right there showed me, like, nah, B, you could be a little bit more patient in this situation. And I'm sure on your journey with Enduraphin, it's like you've learned to be more patient, more assertive. Tell us some things that you learned on your journey.
Yeah, I think ego is the enemy. I think that's what we're getting at with all of these, you know, things that we're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. To be able to give advice, if it's received poorly, it means the ego's in the way.
Yep, yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
and
yes, sir.
you gotta reframe. You gotta reframe, right? The message, maybe, right? Maybe as a young elite athlete, it's message and messenger, right? And you might have one coach on that one team you want to make, But if you're only going to receive the message the one way the coach delivers it, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't receive it the right way, then you need to reframe the message.
Yeah.
Receive it a different way,
Mm-hmm.
right? He
Give me an
wants me
example.
to. So, I mean, you hear all the stories of athletes as they're coming up, but the coach cares the most about the one that he's growing into most of the time, right? And if the mind isn't ready to receive that criticism, then you'll feel like he's attacking you. But if it's set up to receive that message, even if it feels like he's attacking, because that's where you get a lead. It's not to ask the coach to change the message.
You adjust to
Receive the message
receive-
differently.
Yeah. Receive it differently.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why? How about TJ wants the best for me? So why is he grilling me now?
Right.
Because he wants the best for me. So that
Right.
means I got to change something to be better, right?
That's elite.
Um,
You know
Yeah.
what? You know, like just to speak on what you just said there. The main reason that happens is because people get in their feelings so fast.
That's the ego.
And ego
Yeah.
feel, but like it's hard to do stuff, bro, when you're in your feelings.
100%.
Like if coach done said something to you one time, then he come to you again, you're already in your feelings from the first time he came to you.
yeah,
So now, like you say, that ego just like this now, like you stopping all that, you ain't even trying to hear nothing else, right?
right. And it's
Yeah.
like even like you said, relationships. Having a wife, I've been with her for over 10 years, right? Like you've got emotion and you've got logic, and they are one and the same, and they got to be there, right? And like she has we all have great logic, but sometimes when emotion drives,
Yeah.
logic is hard to
It's
have.
out the
Even
window.
for me, if
Yeah.
if I'm angry
Yes, sir.
or I'm sad,
Right.
the logic's gonna change,
Yeah.
right? I've even noticed, which is crazy in this world, flavor, taste. I feel like it's emotional too. I've realized now more and more, if I go to a restaurant and I'm happy at that restaurant,
Right.
I love that restaurant.
Yep, you do.
But if you went to that restaurant, it was a great restaurant, you had a bad experience.
Right.
You think you didn't like the food and what was going on there. You go back there with someone you enjoyed the time with.
Yeah.
This place is sick again,
It's everything.
right? So it's
Vibe
like
is right. Yeah.
it's making sure we're emotionally stable enough to realize we have to control us, right? At all points. If
Yeah.
someone could get you going, they've got control.
Yes. Yeah, they do.
And-
Tell me this then. How do you function in chaos?
Yeah, I think
What are some tools you use when you feel like things are going it's a little wild. It's like a hurricane going on
sure.
around you, and you got to be in the middle of the hurricane. What some tools you use to be calm?
Yeah, I think I learned it young. I've divorced parents, right? Divorced parents at a young age. And luckily I had split custody, which meant my dad fought to have me half the time, right? So every week I was back and forth throughout school, all the way through high school, right? And chaos is happening all the time in that environment, right? Like money's tight, right? And you want things and you want to look cool in school, but your parents don't have the money, right?
Right.
And what they do have, they give you everything they have. That's what you realize when you're a parent.
Yeah.
It's like we weren't given that blueprint,
Right.
and either were our parents, but they instilled hard work, like don't quit, never quit. Like I feel like if that was the one piece, never quit, is the secret ingredient. It's the secret, actually.
It definitely is, man.
With now, never quit while you build your mastermind.
Okay.
Right? You got to have great mentors all the time.
Yeah.
Right? You lean into those people. Stay a white belt. Right? Even if you're a black belt. Right? Because you can learn something from everyone. Right? Seriously. I talk to anyone and everyone. And it's cool to see people that'll do that same thing. Right?
Yeah.
It's the person that's helping us with our coffee. It's the person that's, everyone's living a life that can be learned from.
Everybody, I like to say everybody is the star in their own movie.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And like other things I like to say is like you're not necessarily like above or below nobody.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because everybody got their strengths and weaknesses.
That's right.
And I like to say those type things because like it make people keep your confidence stay intact. You know, you don't have no reason to be jealous of anybody. You know what I'm saying? And you can just focus on striving to be the best you. You know what I'm saying? But never quit. That was like that's always been a strength of mine. Just never quit, man. Like no matter how tough the times, you know, can be or is, like never quit, because I feel like even if it don't work out in this little arena of whatever's going on, it's gonna work out in the next thing. Like you gonna be built for it.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? You know how people be like, I'm built for it.
Yeah.
You built for it because of the things you endured
Okay.
along your journey. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, straight up. And never quitting is I like that, man.
The question, you know, you talked about growing up, right? Like how your parents split up, divorced. So would you say, how was the love that you received there already taught you not to quit, right? So would you say that now that you're married with a wife and kids, is that forcing you to be like, you want to be totally different from how your mom and dad were?
Ooh. That's a good question. That's a good question because I don't. So I think you learn from every situation. It's not that you want to be different. It's that you want to have taken something from your parents and show that you've learned from it.
Okay.
Right? Like if there's one thing my daughter can take, it's like I want to see that she learned something from me. You know what I mean? So maybe the things that weren't so good that they had, right, in their life, you decide not to partake in, but the elements that they're great at, lean into that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So a reframe, again, right? It's like to frame it for positivity. And
yeah,
like,
that's really dope, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because even you saying reframe the message.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So your whole thing is always put that positive spin on it and just reframe it.
100%. And scarcity. Scarcity's a mindset. I would say that is one thing I learned too. The tools is like stop being so scarce.
Like feeling like it's not enough. Like
yeah, the feeling like there's not enough for us to go out and get for our own. So then you what people end up doing is they compete against their friends. There is so much in this world.
Right.
So much.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And you compete together. You help each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because to me, like that's how you ultimately go further in life. Period. I mean, you feel what I'm saying? Like, just like TJ could be trained his whole life and do what he do, but like if we partner somehow, and it'll be that much more bigger. And even vice versa, whatever I do,
Yeah.
like his expertise, like, you know, he'll see my blind spots.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
And vice versa. Like it's always better to work together, but you gotta be able to frame that shit right.
Correct.
And I always tell TJ, it's like it's how you look at it.
Definitely.
And for you, it's like how you frame it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Let's reframe it. So it's all these different little concepts or like nuances.
Definitely.
You feel me? That you could bring to different situations for the greater good of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Relationships though. I want to talk more about relationships with you. So you said that when it comes to you seen your parents split, and what was the one thing you learned, you think, from that situation? If it was
That
just one thing.
there's lessons to be learned in life that you can grow from. You can either be victim to or you can grow from.
All right.
Like I would say, like I see love. I saw where it broke down. Lack of communication. Right?
Just lack of communication.
Maybe some other things too, but it starts there most of the time. Is like you let something go, someone buries something, and you don't communicate it up front, and then it blows up at one point, and one person's wondering what just happened, right?
Yeah, I would say that's one thing. So let's kind of talk about what make a relationship works. How about that?
Yeah.
So
For sure.
communication could break down, but we know if we communicate, it'll make it work, right?
Yep. Yeah.
What's some other things?
Communication. Love is a verb.
Love is meaning like
Love is a verb.
So
You have
action?
to do it
do it, action
in
right
order
here.
to feel it and give it.
You got to do it on the daily. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yep. Sacrifice is inevitable,
Yep.
and you have to do it on both sides,
Uh-huh.
right?
So it's not you don't believe in happy wife, happy life?
Absolutely, absolutely. But my wife understands the same things I do.
So
And
what's the other one? What's the other one? Because I remember you said it one time, TJ,
What's that?
about like the same thing of happy wife, happy life, but like for the husband though.
Happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay,
You feel me?
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. But I think you can both be happy.
Nah, for sure.
You
Like,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's choosing what do you really care about, right? Because it's like there's battles. There's gonna be battles, like, right? You got to choose your battles, right? This is in every relationship.
That's a
Choose
fact.
your battles
That's a fact.
because you can lose the first battle and win the war,
Absolutely. All day
right?
long.
So know what it's all about. You got to have a goal.
Yeah.
If you don't have a goal in your relationship, that's where things break down.
Yeah.
You got to have goals in everything you do in life.
Yeah, because you definitely got to have goals, and it's like definitely having goals, right? Because it's like everybody has what's important to them,
Yeah.
right? So you know how everybody feel like you so independent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm this in. But it's like okay, how important is this situation to you?
Right.
So it may be this situation may be a 10 to me,
Yeah.
it may be a 10 to you.
Right.
So how about make that sacrifice for me, and then vice versa when it's a 10 for me, or a 10 for you and a 10 2 for me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think like different like little tools you can use to
Yeah.
make things work. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah. The importance level
Yeah. Of
on either person's
yeah,
side.
yeah,
Because you're gonna care about things that your wife cares
yeah.
about other things. Right?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I think everyone can be happy, right?
Yeah.
And like my wife is like my everything, right?
Mhm.
She has sacrificed the world for me to chase my dream,
For sure.
right?
That's
So
what
I
it's
think
about. Yeah.
that like to see that like that is like and it's shared and there's no questioning it.
Mhm,
It's like we're doing this together.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't you sacrifice,
Mhm.
right? At that point, you and sacrifice. You feel like you're losing something. I don't think you should feel like you're losing something. How about you're giving more love to that person?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're giving them their flowers and their love, right? That they want there.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed about that too? It's like knowing your role,
Yeah, 100%.
like and be a star in it.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I might be chasing my dream, but we are chasing our dream. Because
Correct.
I feel like ultimately, like, your dream is to make me happy,
Exactly.
and my dream is to make you happy while
Exactly.
chasing my dream.
Right.
So, like, what's your role in this thing? Like, know your role. I know my role. You know yours, and let's just star in it and just shine.
Correct.
Because, like, if you don't know that, that's when a lot of confusion come in too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's like, that's life, that's relationships, but it's like that in life, and it's definitely like that in sports.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Everybody want to be one person
Right.
when you don't have to be that, because we see at the highest level, the Lakers only have one LeBron
That's right.
and KD's, but they both really well off, and I'm sure when they go home they very happy, and you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So I think it's important to store on your role, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's like you see it all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I think be yourself, right? That's in your role. That's yourself too, right? And stop thinking about who the other guys are,
That's a
because
fact, too.
because what we do as people is like look at what you have or what she has, but they also have those things that they lack as
Yeah.
well, and they're a package deal
Yeah.
every time.
It is,
Right?
Yeah.
So like you gotta have, if you want what they have, you gotta want their problems too.
Man, people don't think about
Right,
that,
right,
bro.
right.
Right.
People don't think about that.
Did y'all see the post, since we was talking about relationships and wives and stuff? Did you see the post where LeBron, talked about his wife being like the one that runs everything for him, right? So it was kind of cool because I'm like, you look at my logo, right? Who you think created this logo? No, like my wife
Right.
created it, bro. But like everybody was like, bro, that that logo's so cool, this, that, and the third. And then I'm looking at Cerebral, and every time I'm like, bro, like my wife really did that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I gave her like my favorite movie is Love and Basketball. So then I was like, yeah, man, I need something with like Love and Basketball. And when I was younger, they called me Mr. Cerebral just because I played the game at a high level, right? So she was like, okay, cool. So, bro, I came home one day. She's like, boo, look at these. I kind of like came up with these. And I'm looking, I'm like, that shit hard as hell.
That's right.
So then now, like, when we going in them camps and you talking about me going on vacation, I'm taking my family with me. But ultimately, it's Cerebral, but she created the logo, so it's a win-win for both of us.
Right.
So that goes to say it's just important to have the right person with you too, though.
It's
The
everything.
right person is everything.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you know that in this life you're going somewhere with someone, right? And there's all the cliche sayings, right? About first it's like the destination, right? You have the big goal to make it to the NBA, right? Then it's about the journey that you're on to get there, right? You need to focus on this is life, because once you get there, that's the finish line. But then it's about the company. You realize it's about the company you share, the people that you're with, right? And to know that you have that woman with you for the rest of life, and that you're both fighting together. I mean, it's everything. You know what I mean? You've got someone that you come home to. If you have a terrible day, you got love at the house.
Yeah.
And you can put all the problems aside, recalibrate, and go attack, right?
So, is it about the journey or is it about the end result?
For me, it's about the company, the
company,
people that are with me on that journey.
That's what it's about for you.
100%. Like I think, for me, it's about like, if I can include people to do the things that I couldn't do when I was young, that's like my biggest give back. Like the things that I wanted to do, but I thought it was impossible to ever do, or it would take some world-changing event to ever get there. I want to show people it's achievable, right? You got to change the narrative. We have self-narratives that we say all the time.
All right.
I'm not good enough at this, or like I'm not strong enough. Whatever you're telling yourself and your body is like hearing you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So change the narrative, right? I am great. I will be great. I show up on time. Right? Then
So-
that's who you are.
So you believe in positive words of affirmation?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's like when you have your goal in mind, there's the version of yourself that you have to be to get there. You might not be there now, but what is that guy doing? What is future Brandon Bass Jr. doing to be big star? What is Danny Drake when things are incredible, we're having the most impact? What does he look like? What is he doing every day? Right?
Yeah. When I was in Boston, Ray Allen told me that one time. He was like, it's just one of the one things that stood out for me that he mentioned to me was like, he said, you want to think like, he said like, at the time I was probably like 25, 27. He was like, you should thank your like 15-year-old self for the things you did and sacrificed for your 25-year-old self. And you want to be able to do that same thing for your 37, 47-year-old self. So it's about like what you do today to have a greater tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Basically what he was saying. And I thought it was so cool because like during those times where I was doing some crazy things to live out my dream. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it paid off for me. You
For
know?
sure.
Yeah.
You're like bringing that younger self with you to the stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that feels really good.
No,
Right?
no.
Because we try to improve ourselves,
Uh-huh.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
like we tend to want to like put that past version of ourselves, lock them away,
Yeah.
bring them, you
Yeah.
bring them with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Are you a visualizer?
Absolutely.
You like to see yourself, you know, where you want to be next?
Definitely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's all about that. It's like that goal state,
Uh-huh.
right? What is
You said
and
goal
it's
state or flow state?
Goal.
Goal state.
Goal. 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 Like
wanna-
where are you trying to go? What's your
Uh-huh.
goal?
Uh-huh.
Right? And like when you have that version of yourself,
Mhm.
you know that's what it's about. It's about chasing that goal state.
Keeping that person in your that a vision of that person in your mind and chase that every day.
Correct. Yeah.
Mm.
And self-audit.
Mm-hmm.
Self-audit. I feel like as an entrepreneur, that's been the biggest thing, right? When we work
Mm-hmm.
in careers, we have bosses and hierarchy to
Mhm.
tell us if we're doing a good job or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that like internal look, that visualization happens with me. It's like you gotta know what you're doing is leading to where you want to go, even when you don't see it right now. It's like that delayed gratification,
No,
and
for
it's
sure.
lost nowadays. People are so like, I need it now. I need that offer right now. Right? How about no? You need to develop
Right now.
right now.
Mhm.
Keep developing, and you need to beat your past version of yourself because that's what they're looking at, right?
Man, that right there, man, it was that simplifies life, and it makes you won't be anxious with anxiety. You won't be depressed with depression because you're in the moment and you simplifying everything.
Yeah.
You
Be
know?
inspired. Stay inspired.
Yeah.
Like there's the people that you need to stay inspired for,
Yeah.
right? They're years down the road,
Yeah.
or they made a few different decisions, or they had luck that played
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them well then.
Mm-hmm.
But luck shows up when you stay the course.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Definitely shows up then.
You talk about your, competition, right? Well, who was your who would you say? Well, actually, it's not competition because you're not looking to the left or the right. But what protein company would you say that gave you an idea? Like, man, you know what? I want to get started with this, and I want to do something different from them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
which company was it?
I mean, there's like getting started. You try a lot of different products, and you know you're going through and you're getting.
I need one company. I need
One-
you to give me a company
one
that you thought about was like.
Probably
There's
only
there's
mention
one that
nobody.
starts with G that
got you.
everyone like they've done an incredible job, right? And they got
Right.
they got started in sport. I think there's a fantastic story there, and leaning into science. They're great with doing that early on.
Okay.
But I think we've just listened to dietitians and strength and conditioning coaches and practitioners talk about the loves and hates of different products out there.
Right.
And you know we saw the opportunity to make a better product, better for you, more convenient, right, than some of the competition out there.
Right.
Let your mind get creative on who that might be out there. But
yeah.
but
Look, I got another question for you.
Yeah.
What store would you love to see Enduraphin in? Like, if it's your ultimate goal, or like it's just like, damn, I would love to walk by in the aisle and see Enduraphin in there. What store would that be?
yeah, so right now we're launched in 2 Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay.
Okay, so like growing up in upstate New York, we launched out of Binghamton. That's where Dick's got started, the first ever Dick's Sporting Goods, right? They then launched these concept stores where they have like fields, golf bays, like simulators. You can go in and experience the gear that you're gonna buy.
Right.
I think there's a great opportunity there to scale
Okay.
into Dick's Sporting Goods. Now, the thing is, though, people don't really realize that they sell protein because it's like it's a sporting goods store.
Right.
So you think of the Yetis, the Kicks. Now with House of Sport, they've got a better shoe deck too. I know in the back a few years they didn't have all the Jordan and Nike deals, but what I would love to see is Dick's Sporting Goods make a stand on NSF and Informed Sport certification. right? So if they leaned into the certifications that athletes need to then say, I can drink that, I believe now you draw in naturally the athletes to come back to the store and buy their protein there. So I want to scale with our current retailer, if I'm being honest. I think there's a lot of room for them to become a dominant player out there. Whole Foods would be fun too in the near future.
I was thinking Whole Foods.
Yeah, yeah.
I swear to God.
No,
I'm thinking Whole Foods just because it's more of one of the healthier proteins that I've seen.
Absolutely.
So I think Whole Foods would be like a really, really good place there, or Sprouts, or like,
right.
You know, you got athletes that go in there. That's all. I only shop in Whole Foods when I go in there and look for something healthy.
Right.
So you'll win me over if I see some protein. I done bought like 4 different proteins out of Whole Foods.
Yeah. Right.
And they ain't tasty at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But y'all's is really tasty. So that would be dope.
Appreciate it. We just gotta get the local Whole Foods manager to let us in.
Local Whole Foods manager, if you listen to this, so we might have to go over there and go send them the episode or whatever we got to do, but we need to get Enduraphin in there ASAP.
That's right.
Yeah.
You may have to ask for like a stand. You know how sometimes you go Whole Foods, you have a little.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You'll catch me right there. You'll catch me right there sampling that product for real.
Because like, I actually know the section that your drink will be in, with all the other the protein shakes. But I just feel like you have you can bring people in a little bit more, because you could tell them like you bring a little bit more to the table.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying, than just a regular drink.
Yeah.
You know, you bring that convenience. You know what I'm saying.
And it's like we can lean into the 90 Division I universities that buy our product and bring it in, right? Mm-hmm. To then be able to tell that story in Whole Foods. I think that's where it gets exciting. Mm-hmm. It's like local college here is putting in every smoothie, right? I think that tells that local story for Whole Foods.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for you is being able to share your story and inform people more about the product, and people will want it, because we're in the era of information, you know, where people want to be enlightened, you know. TJ nickname, what's your nickname when you was young?
Short fat.
Short fat.
But look, you know, in the last 6-7 months, man, he been, you know, in tune with his body, learning more about nutrition, you know. So it lets you know, like, you know, that people is trying to be more informed about stuff they put in their body.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's cool, man.
Yeah, Whole Foods would be a spot.
Definitely.
We're gonna go to Whole Foods today and tomorrow, bro.
That's definitely my spot. So talk to me about flow state, like being your best, and talk to me about that.
Yeah. So I think flow state we've all kind of tapped into when we're feeling like everything is just clicking.
Everything's happening right.
Everything's clicking, and it's kind of like that state is what inspired the brand of Enduraphin, right? That
really?
That enduring endorphin state that you get into, like feeling good and staying there. I think what ends up happening is like that manifestation, that visualization starts to become more real when you're in flow state.
Yep.
And it's like you're doing the things that maybe were nagging at you too. Right? Like, hey, you got to do this, and you kind of put it in the back of your mind. But when you do it, it's like check, right? And then you want to do the next thing, right? The obstacle's the way, right? And once you get into that state of like getting things done, that's what it's all about. That's how you feel fulfilled.
What's an example of you being in flow state?
you feel like there was something that you had to do. There was a right way, right? But in reality, it's like the way is following who you truly are and doing right by yourself.
Sure.
Right?
For sure.
So that I've loved that one. And then
Think and Grow Rich.
yeah, Think and Grow Rich. I think just early on, I realized like you're gonna work hard in life, no matter what. But you get to choose your hard, ultimately.
What you mean,
and so like if you can set your mind up to understand how to achieve the different things we want to achieve in life, right? Versus like a basic understanding of work really hard as a truck driver, right? Like my dad's a truck driver. I've learned so much from that.
Well, I got
hard
you.
work.
I got you.
Hard work, but sometimes it's
Choosing
like and I love that he chooses it. It's like, Dad, why don't you try something else?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I love it.
For
I
sure.
get to come home every night,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, so I love that, but know why you're doing those things,
Yep.
right?
That's
Like,
a fact.
like you got to love life, and then together is better. I think it's in the name, right? Like this ride by yourself isn't fun, right? Mike, my co-founder, I've been working with since we started it. I think there's a story to be told in that, because a lot of companies fail because of founder disagreement and just people quitting, right? So choose, and just my wife being number one, right? Choose who you're gonna be with together, and realize what it takes is like having similar values.
Facts.
Be a good person. Like when you're wrong, admit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then podcasts. How I Built This was a one that I love listening to. It's like big founders and brands that told their story.
Okay.
Love that. TalkNTaste.
But yeah, man.
Gotta have that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Gotta have that.
Yeah.
When we spoke, I love the idea of bringing entrepreneurs, athletes together. Right. I think that's huge for all levels of life, right?
And telling the story, because they all one and the same, and we can all learn something from each other.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? To help us get through our day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just a simple understanding.
The real stories, right? And then let's see, another podcast. I listen to a little Joe Rogan.
Okay. He's the biggest, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
he's like the biggest podcaster out there. I think he brings some just different perspectives that make you think. I think it's important to think, right? And allow free thought. Everyone should be able to think about different things and how they think the world should work, and I think we should hear it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anything you would want to leave with the podcast?
Leave with the podcast?
We can't leave yet. We got like this and like that.
Okay, let's go.
We got like this and like that.
Okay. What do we got? Just chase your dream. Chase your dream and continue to be a good person, right? Because like I heard this recently: when the door shuts, a window opens. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So realize that is the case in every aspect of life, and keep opening doors, keep knocking on doors, and climb into a few windows.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want?
All right. Yeah. So now we got this.
We end with like this and like that then.
Okay.
Yeah, we asked like this and like that basically. So Gatorade or Powerade?
We got to say this or that.
Oh, neither.
All right, we're talking about the electrolyte drinks. I'd say the Gato. I think I'd lean into, but Enduraphin.
Enduraphin, for sure.
Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram. I like the pictures. The story tells 1,000 words, and I think Facebook has gotten kind of washed out.
Too many grandmas and aunties on there. Huh?
My dad is on that heavy.
I feel you. Last one is movies. So, the Batman series of movies or Spider-Man?
Ooh, Batman. Yeah, I think so. Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
I think there's a fun story that he embodies, right? Successful businessman that also has some vigilante to him.
So that's it, man. That's it for like this or like that.
Okay, man.
You got any?
Like this or like that?
Yeah.
Nah,
No.
I like this and that. Man, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Seriously.
I think you know, I think you'll enlighten the listeners and the viewers, you know, and that's the goal of Talking Taste, to have range in the conversation.
Definitely.
All
I
right.
think that's it. Incredible first experience. Thanks for allowing me to share my story. It's
For
big
sure.
time.
For
Yeah.
sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Till next time.
For sure.
Yep.
Manny.
Yo, come on.
My dog.
That's big time.